Paul, good to see you. We're on a 4th of July cruise, as you know, but I understand you're in charge of the races. And Bristol Club has just sort of started to revive racing in the last few years. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your program.
I'll tell you what we've done, Ted, is we try to take some of the stress out of it. And what we do is there's kind of two types of races that we do. One is point-to-point, and that works out pretty well. We try to keep it that the races don't go more than 2 hours. And the other thing is we'll have races that are closer in, but we still will use regular marks. We don't go out and set marks. We use existing marks, and we try to be very careful about it to make sure that there's adequate water around them. But one of the things that we think really makes the program successful is that we don't use the standard racing start. And you allow people to start within a half-hour time frame.
Well, how do you work that? How's that?
One of the things is that everybody takes their own time as they're going through the start, and also they take their time at the end. And then to figure out who the winners are, we use the standard performance handicap rules, and I figure that goes fairly easily.
Do you have course charts, and how does that work?
Oh, what I do is I come up with a race circular, which tells everybody this is what it's going to be, and you kind of fill in the blocks. What I do even at the beginning is to make sure that people haven't changed something on their boat. And then the back, what I have is a copy of the NOAA chart, and what shows is the course, so that people will be able to see what the course is.
Okay, I see you have a course sort of lined out that goes down the Chester River.
Right, goes down the Chester River, and what you do in this course is you have to take the marks on the way that you would if you're normally cruising. People will take their time when they start, and they'll take their time when they finish. And in this case, they'll have to either telephone it in to me, or they'll send it in by email.
Right. So with all the different boats that we have in the club, how do you balance them out to make them sort of equal?
What I do is use the standard performance handicap numbers, and that allows the people with the slower boats to compete with those people that have the faster boats.
I don't know what my number is. How do I find that out, or do you take care of that?
What happens is I take care of it, but what I make sure is that everybody knows what their number is prior to the time that they start.
Okay.
And this way they know relatively where they stand, so if you see a boat and it's the same size roughly that you are, and you know that you have to give them, say, half a minute a mile, and they're just ahead of you, you know if you're well into the race, you're losing.
Okay.
On the other hand, you can look at a boat and you can say, well, I'm ahead on the handicap. The system has worked out very, very well. We use the nationwide system.
Good. How many series do you have? You have series?
Usually we have 3 series as the year goes on, and we identify the first 3 places. We try to have awards. But we identify the winner of each one of the race naturally. And then what happens is I carry the places forward so that we have 2 trophies at the end of the year. One is for it's called the Broad Arrow Trophy, and that is the boat that has picked up the lowest score going through the races for the year. In other words, it's been the top racing boat. And the second award is a participation award. It's the boat that has been in the most races and it has beaten the most other boats. Okay. And it works out very well. In other words, 2 different classes of people have been very successful.
Suppose I can't participate in all the races. Should I go to any of the races?
Certainly, because each one of the races is independent for that award that's given for that race.
Uh-huh.
And it's very difficult for people to make all 3 of the races. So what happens is if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. Your placement is carried forward.
Right.
In fact, we've had this program going for a couple of years now, and the first year that we had it going, we had people stretched out literally for miles. Quite a few of the people couldn't come close to their handicap. And there's nothing like a little competition, because last year we had a bunch of boats that came in awful close. In fact, we had 2 races where a boat was less than 30 seconds from another boat, and that is pretty close, where it wouldn't have happened initially. It's been noticeable, particularly since we had some people that they would move up from a smaller boat into a larger boat. People are sailing better, sailing with more confidence. Then it is good to sharpen your skills.
Sharpen the skills. Okay, good. Moving right along. Hard to keep up with him.
The other option is
Somebody on the cell phone.
Close race. Here we are, neck and neck. Neck and neck.
There were 5 boats started and 3 boats finished.
If you had allowed us to pick the finish point, we would have been fine.
Red number 2.
Hand
one down before you go into rock hall.
The wind died?
The wind died?
Wind died.
Well, we did.
Wow.
Right. So you just said...
Seascape elapsed time, 362 minutes.
Okay.
Scudder's elapsed time, 333 minutes.
32. Okay.
You're getting a little time then. Rhythm is still there. What's your rating? 150?
Yeah, I'm 1. Rhythm. Okay, Scudder 333. Rhythm 331.
Oh!